All right. What up, what up, what up? What's going on, Real Talk family? We back again for another episode. Of course, this is your number one host with the most, the money man. In the building, of course.
You know, we got
we got the philosopher.
You gotta add something to it, huh?
What's going on, philosopher?
I ain't nothing much, dog. Just chilling.
Coming to scene trying to make jokes. I got you.
I ain't coming to make no joke, man.
What's up, closer? What's going on?
Yes, the closer is in the building. But you know what? I'm gonna create a new name. I'm gonna call myself the Real Estate Insider.
The Real Estate Insider.
Okay, man. We only got one name, dog. Lord have mercy. Now he wants to be the real estate.
He like Diddy, man. He got to reinvent himself.
You know what I'm saying? Every now and then.
Is it time to reinvent yourself already?
Every now and then I got to reinvent
yourself.
Because I got the inside scoop on all the real estate that's going on in Houston, Texas.
Hey, look, he might have to start something new. You know what I'm saying? On every episode, we're gonna have to ask him what you called today.
Put you on there as no name until you decide to figure out what your name is gonna be for the next couple of weeks.
Look, I just call it like I see it. That's all. I just call it like I see it.
Oh my goodness, man.
Okay, so for the people out there, you know what I'm saying, can you expound upon that name? You know what I'm saying? Like where you get that from?
Oh, the Real Estate Insider.
Yes.
You know, just the way business been working lately, I seem to be able to get inside all the good deals and work them out. And then the funny part about it is though the closer hasn't left, because I still close the deal, but at the same time, I get all the inside information that allows me to maximize the thing for my clients. So,
I love it.
You know, they work hand in hand. They like partners. They like partners.
I got you.
I think the Real Estate Insider is a fly name, but I don't think your definition is all as fly as the name, man. The insider would be someone who has coming down knowledge of the industry before it hits, kind of like Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport on NFL.
See what I mean?
I believe that'd be more adhesive to what we try.
Look, that's why I got
new information that you got.
That's why I got
nobody show you.
Look, that's why I got the philosopher go ahead. See, I got him already calling me the insider. You see what I mean? I already got him calling me the Real Estate Insider and defining exactly what I do every day.
I thought it would be fly, but yeah, your explanation was not all that fly, man.
I was just keeping it short and sweet. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet for y'all, but we can roll with your definition on top.
How you gonna come in and dictate what Diddy name is over there? You know what I'm saying? Like the definition behind his name. How you gonna dictate?
Right. When
a person thinks about
when you reinvent the philosopher, then you know what I'm saying you can dictate what the definition name is.
That statement has passed through centuries.
Wow.
Centuries. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Centuries.
Oh, you took that on the next level.
That don't have to be reinvented or recreated or redone any kind of way. The philosopher is that, okay. And if you don't understand what that is, you come and talk to me, or we can look it up and you get a better understanding.
But see, I want to make sure we clarify, because I'm not reinventing the clothes.
Well, that's what he just said. You got to
look, I'm not reinventing it.
New name bring about, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm just adding another layer, like an onion. I'm just adding another layer.
I got you.
Because you never know. Next week I might be something else.
Okay.
You know.
Hey,
we'll see how these deals work out this
whatever
week.
Works. It's on a week by week basis. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what he called. I got you. So we here to talk today. You know what I'm saying? You guys have seen the financial series that we had. We here to talk about the business series of things. The business of actually being in the real estate industry and just all different types of categories: investor, agent, lender, whatever the case may be. We're here to talk about it. But to start off, we're just going to talk about actually being an agent. And who better than the inside man to give us the inside information about what does it take to become an actual agent.
That's right. And you know what I thought about when you stated the inside man. I said, I do look a little like Denzel. You know what I mean? In the Inside Man movie. So I'm going to just go ahead and roll with that just like that. But when it comes to being an agent, okay, there's a lot of things that come into play. I won't want to dip on any of the philosopher's stuff. But from a functional standpoint, you're going to have some money. right? Because you're going to have to go through some classes. You're going to have some reserve. This is what a lot of people don't talk about, right? I think you need to have some money so you can learn while you're being an agent and not be worried about how the bill's going to get paid, right? And then I think the big thing is you're going to need some time. So if you're a person that's, really overscheduled in life, you know what I mean? You're going to have to figure out a time and point when you can kind of get into this business that's efficient and effective. And I think there's another thing that you got to determine if it's a need. Do I have to work as a real estate agent? Or is this something that's just for fun? Because I think that
For fun.
Look, I just opened up a whole nother can for. I'm telling you, I got some inside information on this. but is it a need? Am I doing this as a career, as a business, as a longevity, type of deal? Am I trying to create goals and all that stuff? And I want to run it like a business. Or am I just doing it because I want to do 1 or 2 deals? I like watching HGTV. Let me get a couple houses.
Or are you doing it because, you just bought a house and saw what the commission that the agents made. Now all of a sudden you want to go sell houses. People get to that mindset. Ooh, $7,000?
Yeah.
I need to go get licensed, sell a house.
Look, they don't realize we worth every penny. We do so many things behind the scenes.
Yes.
Like I said, HGTV make it look good. You get a clip here of them looking at the house. I'm going to take you to 3 houses. And they go to 3 houses. Which one you want? They thinking about it. They like, let's go with this one. I mean, sometimes it go that way, but it's rare.
3 houses, and pick one. Nah. It ain't that. Okay. So we got that. All right. So then you had a mindset, you get in there. We have an idea. And then now that spills over to the philosopher, gonna give us the philosophy and the mentality on what it takes to be an agent for one, and what kind of mindset you should have when getting into this industry.
Well, when you get into the industry, your mindset is you need to totally be open and really not understanding what you're about to get into, but have the willingness to understand. Because going through the classes, paying the money, finding a brokerage, whatever you decide to do, everything is going to take your stress levels up, down, in, and out. It's going to take your understanding. It's going to stretch you. You're going to think, I thought I really knew what I was getting into, until you take the next step from either going to go sign up for your classes, paying the money, and making the schedule to go to the classes, or if you're going to do it online, making a schedule to do your classes online, make sure you turn in your homework. Once you get that part done, you feel like, oh, I'm in it, I got it. But I've done my classes. That's what you think, because you've successfully completed something, and that's what we have as a mentality. But the next thing is, when you're in class, they tell you, okay, you're going to have to find a company you're going to work for. You got to find a brokerage. There is a whole nother level of anxiety, because they're going to tell you, okay, look, you're going to look for certain things. This commission split is what's important, but are they teaching you? Is the office people environment well suitable for who you are? Are they able to work with you, whether you're going to do it part-time, full-time, or however you want to do it? So now you have another level of understanding that you got to create or grasp to go into that next phase. And then as you go, you continue to grow, your understanding is continue to be stretched, taught, or reconfigured, whichever way you want to say it. It's just going to be a constant thing, and you got to understand that's what's about to happen to you.
Absolutely. So I absolutely love that. But now that goes to, when you talk about new agents just not getting in the industry, I don't think a lot of them understand the mindset of what it takes to actually get in, and understand that even though you're actually self-employed somewhat, when you become an agent, you're actually an independent business. And nobody really approaches it. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but a lot of agents don't really approach it that way. They just approach it as, hey, look, I'm just going to send out a blast, a social media blast, or whatever the case may be. People going to start coming, the checks are going to start rolling in.
No, it don't roll like that.
And that ain't the case, right? So then when they start seeing all this money that they spend, all this money that's going out, now the pressure is on to try to make something happen. But for that agent that just got licensed, has actually picked a brokerage, and actually is out there just trying to start off, what do you think are some of the most important things that they should be focusing on, closer?
I think that first thing, or one of the biggest things they need to be focusing on, is their sphere of influence. So the people they know already, start priming them. You know what I mean? And letting them know, hey, I'm starting to go to real estate school, or I'm getting ready to go to real estate school. When the time comes, I'd love to do business with you. And you help me in regards to this. I promise you, I'll make sure that we get everything taken care of, and you ain't got to worry about that. I think that's the first thing. I think they also need to see where their skill set is in something else right now. So, for example, you got home people, housewives that are at home, right? There's a lot of people come in, they say, well, I've been a housewife, and they see it as a negative. I see it as a positive, because you know what you've had to do in that time while you were a housewife is you had to manage people. You had to manage your kids, manage your husband. You had to put a schedule together. You had to manage that schedule. All those things you can use and bring with you to real estate, right? As well as if you're a professional. If I was a CPA or an attorney or something along, a high stress job or something like that. There's things that you did in that business that you can bring with you to real estate. Now, you still got to learn how to do real estate. You know what I mean? You still got to learn how to be a proper agent, how to be a fiduciary, how to actually talk and understand real estate, and all the things that can make real estate complicated and not as easy as HGTV plays it out to be. But that being said, as long as you come in with a willingness to learn and you get with the right people, what's the old saying? The people you put around you is who you're gonna be. You go around broke ass real estate agents and real estate companies, then you're gonna be broke and you're gonna get out. And that's just and that's not me. You see, I ain't named no names. We ain't calling nobody out, but it is what it is. If I want to go to be successful, I gotta go around people that are successful and that have a track record of teaching success and showing success, and then I gotta plug that into me and go there and go as a learner, right? And then because like the philosopher said, it's gonna be constant breakthroughs. You're gonna get to a certain ceiling, and you're gonna say, okay, and you're gonna have to figure out how to get to the next level. And then you're gonna get to another ceiling, and you're gonna figure out how to get to the next level. It really comes down to that. The only other thing I would add would be start making goals early that a lot of people don't really talk about. Because I think that'd be good coming in. You don't have to make any huge goals, but maybe your first goal is, okay, I want to do my first couple deals. I want to do 4 deals in the first 6 months.
And make sure you write that down.
Yes.
Don't just what I mean? Head, write it down.
Because if you don't have any, it's kind of like anything. It's just like, we got to go to the store. We're going to hit on GPS. I want to go to HEB. And it's going to plug 5 HEBs. I'm going to find the closest one, right? And I'm going to hit the button. Well, then it's going to direct me there. It's the same thing as if I don't have anything or any concepts coming in, well, then I'm kind of lingering. And then, and even when some people are trying to show you how to make those goals, you haven't made the concept. It's kind of almost like teaching your kids, right? When you teach your kids as they're younger, you're like, okay, let's show me how to make goals. And you show them how to write them down and so on and so forth. As they grow older, they do it without you having to prompt them. You know what I mean? For their own self. So I think that's some of the big ones, I would say.
I got you. A couple of different points that you hit on right there that I actually like. The whole thing about the stay-at-home moms, which I think, a lot of stay-at-home moms underestimate themselves when it comes to that, because they act like it's not an important job, and it is an important job.
Very.
And I think it's just as important as any other job out there, especially like being a teacher or whatever the case may be. The skills from that translate over because, essentially you're kind of babysitting grown-ups a little bit, because grown-ups can act like kids. And when you got them 2 kids at home and they arguing over a toy, that's when negotiation kicks in. All right, you know what I'm saying? How can I calm this situation down?
Exactly.
And then everybody becomes a win-win. And I think those skills translate over well for the real estate industry. But in getting into just the start of it, I just want to get the philosopher's experiences when he first started off. I know a lot of people, they come in, they get educated, they get licensed. After they get licensed, they get that notification from Trek. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, snap. It's real now.
Yeah.
What do I do? What's my first steps? So what's the mentality of what they need to do? And I know the inside man tapped on some of this. You know what I'm saying? I got to think about the name because you know what I'm saying it's switching. I can't.
the clothes or the inside
I don't want to
man?
call him the clothes of the inside man. I don't know.
All you gotta do is present it to the real estate insider.
the real estate insider.
You gotta get your what the lead guy is on the news.
The anchor.
Yeah, you got to get your anchor voice. The real estate insider. We're gonna switch to him.
That's right.
You got to put the deep voice.
That's right.
Now to the inside man.
No, Denzel, how are you doing?
Gracious, doc.
All right, so starting off, when you first came in the industry, got licensed, mindset, your mentality, mindset of how to take your business from zero and then grow it exponentially from there.
I was nervous, man. I was nervous and scared because when you start and when you go through your classes, they tell you off the top that you're going to get paid commission. And, coming from a 9 to 5 or whatever everyone is coming from, you're just used to know you're getting paid. You're going to do 2 weeks worth of work. You're going to get $1,500 on Friday. You know what I'm saying? You're used to that. You just know that. And to go from a place of saying, okay, that's not going to happen. Friday come, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I knock the doors, no matter how many people I call, no matter how many Facebook posts you post, Twitter posts, whatever case, that still is not going to happen. Dog, that is scary. That is nerve-wracking. And the people got to understand that is normal. It is okay to feel that feeling. What makes it unnormal if you stay there? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to work past that. You have to understand, like, get with people who've done this business, who know where you are. Like, look, it's going to be okay. You will be stressed. You're going to have to learn how to handle your stress. You're going to have to learn how to work through your stressors, because that process that you take of getting past that moment is going to help you through the transaction that you're about to get into, as far as when you're helping people buy, sell, lease, find an apartment, find references for certain things. That process is going to help you continue to grow you. So it's okay to feel that. Just know you got to get past it and learn how to get past it quickly. Because at the end of the day, you're right. The light company is gonna want their $300. They're not going. You can't call them and say, "Well, my deal didn't close," or "I'm still lead generating." I would say that's fine. $300, please, or we will cut your service. It is a harsh reality about it, but it is reality. And when you're about to get into this business, just like the closer stated, try to have you some reserves. Understand what your reserves are. That's the quality statement I've ever heard, is the reserves is going to help you. Because when you first start, I think it's 90 days. Whatever you do 90 days from now will get you paid. And if you have not done 90 days and you're in your first set of 90, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to get any money unless you have something in reserves, 401ks, mom and daddy, spouse, whatever the case may be. That's what you got.
This is not a spur of the moment job. If you know what I mean. Like, this ain't one of them, oh, well, I'm going to just go get I ain't got a job. Let me run down to 7-Eleven, you know what I mean, and get a job, right? Now, at the same time, there's people, because I want to talk about those people too. We really ain't, because there's people that do get into this business where they don't have reserves, where they don't have, well, maybe they did leave their job and had to come here. That makes it very difficult, and it's a lot more stress, I think, and a philosopher would probably agree with me, that stress level is a little bit higher, because in your mind, it's like, I gotta replace this money that my job was giving me. I really only I left the job today, I got my last check, you know what I mean, which is like 2 weeks, and I gotta have another one on the way, otherwise stuff start getting a little hairy. You know what I mean? And I think there is where you, if you've done some of those things where you talk about that, talk to your friends and family and sphere, you got to think about where you are in life. And I'm just be kind of to the point, right? If you broke in life, your family probably broke in life too, right? So I'm just curse. Just being real, right? Is my friends probably broke? You know what I mean? So I gotta get outside of that environment immediately. Like, still tell them, but I gotta get outside of that in order to find a deal, right? On the flip side of it, if my life is affluent, you know what I mean? I got people. your friends and family a lot of times are willing. There's only two ways they're gonna go. They either want to help you, and they're gonna help you unconditionally just because you, right? And they be like, okay, I'll help you with your first deal. I did want to buy an investment property, or I did want, because they might not have even thought about buying that property till 2 more years or something, right? But they might say, okay, let's see if we can escalate it and get it done now. Or Johnny needs an apartment, right? Or they're going to be the other side, which is, well, let me wait and see what you do first. You know what I mean? I need to see if you're going to even stick with this and do this. And so right now, yeah, you telling me great. You know, they clapping their hands for you. Yay. But they ain't going to give you no business right now. Now, they might give you business later if you become consistent and you work in the deal. So that being said, you know, when you that person that's coming in and you just lost a job or you just left a job and you don't have those reserves and all that stuff, you definitely need to partner with your second half or something, and either try and create reserves that's going to give you at least 90 days worth of reserves if possible. If that's just not a deal, I mean, that's just not a way it's going to happen. You got to get out there and grind, and I mean grind on a level that will really set you up much further than where you'd probably be if you didn't do it, right? Because your whole deal is, I got to find a deal. And you'll end up finding a deal or two just because you grinding so hard and you in that business of work, not even knowing much. People say, man, if you're going to work that hard for you, I want you to work that hard for me. And they'll help you out and get you a deal going. So not that if they got fired or somebody left the job that you can't do it, because you can. It's just the stress level's a little different. The I gotta win scenario is different.
A lot of times, pressure actually helps you because it forces you to get up off your ass and actually do some work.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I think nobody can speak to this better than the inside man, because he's just coming back from the seminar down there in, what was that, Austin?
You mean when I was walking on fire?
Yeah.
I was walking on fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that was in
Dallas.
That was the unleash the. I'm gonna give a shout to Tony Robbins. That's the unleash the power within.
Yes.
Seminar in Dallas.
And
for 4 days.
It talks to you about being in the next level. And I think what a lot of agents don't understand is that in order to succeed in this business, you have to be comfortable with putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, right? And I think you guys kind of talked about that a little bit, and I kind of want you to kind of relate that a little bit to being a real estate agent, right? You know what I'm saying? The want and the need to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, because a lot of people kind of want to get in their shell. They don't want to make phone calls.
Yeah.
Or if they get cussed out on the first phone call, they want to stop making phone calls. Can you talk to them a little bit about the importance of putting yourself in an uncomfortable position and how to actually mentally force yourself through it to keep going?
Well, the first thing I'll say is that we've all been there. You know what I mean? Even someone like the closer and the inside man has been there at one point in time where you sit there and you think about it, you're like, man, I do not want to get yelled at this door or on this phone or whatever, right? And I'll be honest with you, there's been 1 or 2 times where I did just what most people do and walk and be like, all right, I'm going home. I can go play me some video games or something. You know what I mean? And then got up the next day and went back out there because I had to pay my bills. Okay, that's it.
That press is good.
But but it goes back to like when I was walking on fire. Okay, when I was walking on fire at this seminar, because and I know we laugh about it, but I was walking on fire. You know what I mean? Everyone can relate to this, right? I'm gonna use it metaphorically for what it was, right? And how I would say is this is the lead up to the fire was much more scary than the actual fire. So, and the longer it took us to get to them coals, right? You sitting there like, wow. And like you got every level of fear that hits you. on some level. And when we in the stadium, you be like, that ain't gonna be nothing. And then they say, all right, take your shoes and socks off. Look, and it just dropped. Like, right? You be like, oh, we doing this for real. Okay, that's when it really hit you, right? I thought I was going to be able to go out there, take my shoes and socks off over by the fire. No, we doing it here, okay? And then they have you walking out the stadium, and you walk, and like, as you walking, now this is a crowd of 7,000-8,000 people, like this one. As you walking through the stadium, out into the parking lot, into the next parking lot where this fire is, that's a 10-minute walk.
Your stomach turning the whole time.
Because you thinking about it, right? You actually making the fire bigger than it really is.
You worst case scenario in your head.
Exactly. And so and the whole time you're trying to calm yourself down. So you calming yourself down. You get in the line and you see the people starting to go in front of you, but you still can't see the fire because the crowd is in front of you. So you still can't see. But now you can start feeling the heat. But for every bit of heat that you feeling, you also hear somebody, clap their hands or cheer. So it's like these small little victories that's happening as you going in the line, get to the fire. And then about 5 people back before you get to the fire right there. You like how I say the fire. I got to make sure y'all know I walked on fire. Is about 5 people you can see. It's kind of like standing in the line for ice cream, right? By the time you get to the 5th person, you can see the menu and you start looking. So by the time you get to about the 5th or 6th person, you can see the walkway where the fire is. And in your mind, you say, dang, that's longer than I thought it was. Right? Again, it's your mind that's creating it, right?
But in that split second, do you ever have in your mind, man, I think I'm going to turn around and go back.
Yes.
I ain't going to walk.
Yes.
I think I'm going to sit this one out.
Yes, you have doubt. Okay. There's this thing we talked about there. Let's talk about the perfect state, which is a different thing. I'm just want to talk about the regular old person that's walking up like myself. Okay, because I'm not a natural fire walker. I am now. But you get to the 5-6 people back and you see it, all your regular, like your logical emotions come into play. You know what I mean? And as y'all know, I'm the type of person that I just call it like I see it. It is what it is. And so that didn't work to my benefit in this, because now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking of all the other stuff. I'm like, man, I know them coals is hot. I know that, I know there's a lot of fire going on, with that. This is going to be interesting. And I'm seeing the people go out there. Boom. Next person go. Next person go. And it didn't help in my situation particularly, because as I got up to the coals, I'm 1-2 people back from the coals. They came out and put brand new hot coals on the thing. They was like, these are getting a little cool. And they put brand new fresh hot coals on there.
You had to go change the drawers.
You know what's so funny is, look, it was another time where I had doubt. Where I was like, oh man, you just put you should have left the cool ones on there. I'd be good, right? But when you finally get up to that moment of truth, where you step in, like the guy in front of you or gal in front of you went, and I guess a real sidebar story is the girl in front of me went, right? And when you get to the other side, they spray your feet off, right? Well, when they sprayed her feet off, all this smoke came out like, look, so again, these are all the visual things that we think of as we get into this point, right? You finally get up to the fire, you feel the heat from the fire, and everything goes in a slow motion. Like, even if you don't hear nothing around you, you don't feel the people that's right next to the fire that's there to help you. Everything goes silent, and you sitting there thinking like, wow, I'm about to walk on this. And then, but what happens is you get into this state where you say, you know what? I got to take the first step. Because if you take the first step, you gonna take the second step and you're gonna keep going until you get to the end of that walkway of Coles, right? And that's really just what happened. Is it got to a point metaphorically where you say, all right, I gotta take the first step, I gotta go on this faith and I gotta go. And if I start it, I gotta finish it. And I gotta do it at the best pace I can. And literally that's what I did when I got to the other side. Walked through the coals. People say, well, did you burn yourself? Did you do this? Tell you the truth, I don't know. Because I was in such a state of, I'm going to complete this. I'm going to win. I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? That I really didn't think about it after the fact. It really wasn't until later that night when I thought back to it, when then all of a sudden I was like, man, we got some aloe? I need to rub my face, you know what I mean? But even then, like I said, you just moving. So, I think we make it bigger than it is. And the same thing happens in real estate. We make it bigger than it is until we get involved in it. We just got to take the first step and go. So hopefully that answered your question the way you wanted me to metaphorically spin it for you.
That absolutely did answer my question. And I love that answer because, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to relate it to this battle and this struggle that I've been having here for about the past year. I've been trying to lose just 10 pounds. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? And it's the struggle of wanting to get up and go to the gym. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? Once you actually get up and you take that step to go to the gym, you actually feel good. It's not as bad as, you know what I'm saying, the lead up to it. You sit there on the couch in your mind, man, I don't really want to go to the gym. Lord, I don't feel like putting this workout stuff on. You put your workout stuff on and then you just sit on the couch, or you get to doing something else just to kind of pass time and get it off your head. And you never actually going. But after you actually start, then it ends up not being so bad. You want to be at the gym longer because you feel more energized. You feel like you're getting some stuff accomplished. Mm-hmm. It's just about taking that first step. I don't care what it is. If you defeat it today, that's fine. Take you a break. Come back tomorrow. Go right back at it again. Mm-hmm. Like the inside man said, go right back at it again. Just take that first step and then continue on. But outside, yeah, go ahead.
Well, the hard thing that I say is when trying to make it a habit, like anything else. Like, would I walk on fire again? Yes, I would. Just so y'all know, I would do it again, metaphorically, just because now it's like, okay, well, what is this going to change in my life this time? Right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What is it going to do for me this time? I think that's what it is about turning it into a habit. But philosopher, you probably got something. What you think on that?
Man, you cats stole all the thunder. Look here, man. I was a solid story. I hate to be following that, but I'm gonna do my best to provide some quality stuff. That's a hell of
when you walk on fire,
for real. So I'm walking on fire. Like, oh, shit, man. But the biggest thing I think about, in correlation to Walter walking on fire and Money Man trying to drop his 10 pounds, I think I want to reference the movie After Earth with Will Smith and Jaden. And Jaden Smith. They did a movie together, and the perfect part of the show was he was explaining that fear, there is no such thing as fear. Fear is something that is created within our mind that's actually not there. You know what I'm saying? We create that. Now, we can't mix up fear with danger, because danger is true and actual and is actually there. Running out to open traffic is dangerous. Jumping off a skyscraper is dangerous. But the fear of it is something that we actually create within our minds to keep us from doing what is necessary or what we have to do in that moment. As Walter stated, there was fear there about what could happen. There was fear there pertaining to could he burn his feet up, and especially when he saw all the steam come off the other lady's feet. That is an active fear. But once he did it, his mind said, there is no fear. It's only what you created. Was there a level of danger? A little bit. But like in most sports, that old sports analogy is everything is 90% mental and 10% physical. And so in that situation, and as well as for you, that's all it is.
No, 100% agree. It's and like you say, it's majority mental. It's just a mental state. Once you get to the thing, and not just in real estate, but anything in life, I think once you get to that point where you understand what it takes for you to overcome fear mentally, and then be able to take them steps, then you're saying, I think you'll go far in life. Because I think a lot of people don't don't actually take the time themselves to figure out mentally what it takes in order to kind of overcome their fears. And then the other thing is this: half the battle is getting around people that's like-minded and positive. You get around those people that negative, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. It's not going to force you to do anything different than what you're doing now. So you need to get around other people, and then both of you can hold each other accountable. You're accountability partners. Both be positive. Both actually take action and put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and you'll see your business will flourish. Outside of that, real talk takeaways. What you got, philosopher?
Oh man, the Firewalk was a fly story, Doc. Gotta go try that.
Yeah.
That was a fly story, man.
Yeah.
All the people, like, he didn't tell you, he said it was about almost 8,000 people that was out there doing this walk.
Oh man,
8,000. They had like 35 rows of fire.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's bananas. Yeah, that's a story for the books for sure. That's something that needs to be on the bucket list.
And he tell you that his son did it. So when his son did, he sure you had to get up there.
Hey, my son did. I can't park out.
Right now. So that helped him out a little bit.
I got you. Hey, well, look. This is the introductory to the business series. We're gonna be talking about several different topics. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you like and subscribe, so that every time that if you're liking and subscribing to us on YouTube, make sure that every time we come out with these videos, every time we come out with this valuable information, you actually get notified. And you can stay up to date on what's going on. Anything that you want us to tap on, touch on, or whatever the case may be, please make sure you leave us a comment. Appreciate the love that y'all been giving us. YouTube, Instagram, and what's the other platform? Facebook. Facebook is the other platforms. You can catch us out on there. Always real talk in real estate. Real talk, and then the letter N, and then real estate. Outside of that, we'll catch y'all later on the next episode. Make sure y'all stay positive and get around positive people. Peace.
Good deal, Doc. Good deal.